Couple of moments. Florida State will start first, and a familiar face that the Bulldogs are facing off against in Taylor Head, and we are underway inside Tully, and right on cue, Kylene Filimala, the first point for the Seminoles.
And I like to call that serve an assist because she caused chaos on the other side of the net, gave the assist to Kylene Filimala.
The sophomore from Washington was mainly a defensive specialist, even listed as an outside hitter. As Fisher answers back, still in play. We'll see how that low ceiling plays a factor throughout the match. Fisher a second time, dug out. And from the middle, Corey Lewis gets her first kill of the day.
I love the decision to run through the middle early and often because later in that match, that allows you to free up your pins, create a one-on-one situation, and as we said before, both of these middles very efficient.
Already seeing both sides go to their key middles. Another serve by Taylor Head. On the outside, Biana Muneke, another transfer for the Bulldogs on the attack. The set for Fisher, and that time connects on her first kill.
Sophie Fisher is one of those middles that is just as strong in front of the setter as she is behind. We've seen her run behind a lot, pulling that middle block with her to the right side pin. I like the decision right off the bat to move her around.
Georgia head coach Tom Black said that he challenged Sophie in the offseason and wanted her to attack more on the left side. Also worked a lot on blocking. Inside attack, and once again, Filimala getting the kill.
And Kylene is coming off 11 kills, hitting 400, which is very efficient from a pin attacker. She's very physical, and coach called her a baller.
With a member of the ACC all-freshman team last season with 50 kills. First service error of the match. Point goes to Georgia.
And that's expected early in a match. A little bit of nerves. There's a lot of people here. It's easier to err earlier in the match.
Well, when we talked with both coaches, Tom Black for Georgia and Chris Poole for Florida State, it was all going to be about who can get their legs underneath them the quickest here in opening weekend. And Corey Lewis is doing just that, her second kill of the match.
Great down-the-line swing from Corey Lewis with a nice tempo slide. We see her already making an impact, and it's really important that the setters go for those middles, set those middles early, and they've done so.
Lewis averaged 2.5 kills a set last year with an all-ACC first-team selection. Jump serve by Kenna Phelan. Another service error. Florida State running a 6-2, so we'll see a mix of Phelan as well as Lauren Robinson, one of the newcomers for Florida State this year. Georgia sticking with a 5-1 with their senior setter, Clara Brower. Jump serve by Muneke. From the middle. No up that time for the Seminoles. Free ball just got over by Lovett. Back row attack, Muneke off the hands. Bump set, Filimala. And that stays in. How about the sophomore, Kylene Filimala, with 3 kills here in set 1.
And that's how physical and how much of a baller she is, where she doesn't even have a full approach in front of her, and she can pinpoint that back corner. But all that was Florida State being really scrappy, really gritty, never say die kind of attitude, and that's what earned them that point.
It's also a reason why they fought so well last year in the ACC in a conference that's been headlined really by Pitt and Louisville fighting for the conference championship. For Florida State to go 16-2 and get a share of the title with Pitt is a big step up in the program. CC Gooch on the attack, and the attack out, point Seminoles.
And Cece Gooch is in the lineup because Tori Harper, their initial middle, went down with a lower leg injury, so Cece Gooch has definitely stepped up here.
Brower the set, far side denied. And Audrey Koenig getting involved, the co-ACC Player of the Year from last season.
Great block by Audrey Koenig, who set that block perfectly right inside the antenna. Middle blocker came right to her and shut that ball right down, pointing her palms into the court.
Back row attack, Muneke dug out by Emery Dupes. Free ball to the Bulldogs. And some miscommunication. It works out for Florida State, an 8-3 lead in set 1.
Great dig by Emery Dupes, who was out last season. with a torn ACL, but she is back and looking like she's really making strides to get healthy.
Tom Black called a timeout, one career. Play resumes, a 8-3 start for Florida State. Georgia looking to fight back after the timeout called. Nice save by the Seminoles. Near side denied. How has Florida State just continued to this rocket start, Madison?
I mean, it's momentum, and it's propelled by one efficient offense. They've been really taking care of the ball in transition. And then defensively, 2 blocks right off the bat. Kelsey Perry, Florida State's middle, doing a good job at closing. And then Taylor Head setting that block in the perfect position. Great timing as well.
And now you're starting to feel the pressure from the fans as well inside Sully. Brower, and great response from the Bulldogs. Erica Lovett, a key transfer who spent the last 2 years at Tennessee.
And Coach said she has a quiet and steady presence, but that swing right there was not quiet at all. So powerful. Great long approach on that swing as well.
And Coach Black said that Lovett is quiet and steady, but still aggressive, and it showed right there. Near side, not a full attack for Taylor Head, point Bulldogs.
That set just a little too high for Taylor Head, who hung in the air for as long as she could, but just wasn't able to get the tip.
A look at Georgia head coach Tom Black in his 8th season. Reached back-to-back NCAA tournaments in the last 2 years. So you see Coach Black also elevating Georgia volleyball. The same we've seen Chris Poole for Florida State. Great response from the Seminoles. Audrey Koenig gets her first kill of the match.
And one of the great things about Audrey Koenig is that she touches 10-8 at the height of her approach. So a lot of the times we're going to see her swinging up and over the opposing block, sometimes grabbing some fingertips.
Hasn't had the Player of the Year start to this season, but overall, when you have so many weapons you can go to, her time will come when needed.
Exactly. Overall, it's a positive thing. There's been a lot of hot hands on the Florida State side, and the setters have been doing a really good job at finding those hot hands. She just hasn't been one of them yet, but can definitely guarantee she'll heat up as the season goes on.
Entered this matchup today, averaging just over 2 kills a set, hitting at just 130, but head coach Chris Poole wasn't concerned, especially when you have Taylor Head added to the mix. See Colleen Filamala, who got this hot start for the Seminoles with 3 kills on 3 attempts. And there's still more weapons to come for Florida State. Players that we won't even see throughout this weekend, but will make a great presence later on in the year. How about the jump serve from Koenig and the ace?
One of the aspects of Florida State's game that's been very impressive throughout this tournament is the aggression from the service line. We're going to see a couple jump topspins from a couple of the players.
A lot of service pressure from Florida State. 15 aces in the first 2 matchups against UC Santa Barbara and South Florida. Violation, point Dogs. What does Georgia need to do moving forward following the timeout, Madison?
I think they just need to settle in and play their game. It's pretty loud in here. Their first contact hasn't been very clean. I think when they get back to playing Georgia volleyball, they'll be a lot more successful.
That's the thing about these weekend tournaments. Georgia, the serve by Anna Julia Bleeker, that is out. A service error. But Georgia's first 2 games against UC Santa Barbara, South Florida, neutral site games, so there's not as many fans inside Tully, but now you're facing the home team in Florida State, so now you got to deal with that pressure as well. Exactly,
and Georgia's actually hitting in the negatives right now, so that number is going to need to skyrocket a little bit if they're going to make up this lead.
Compared to Florida State hitting .556 in set 1. Back row attack, Muneke, no luck there. Far side, Maddie Snyder. Inside to Lovett. Point Dogs.
And in seasons past, that second contact might have been called a double, but we have a rule change this season, and that is no longer a call that you can have. It can spin off your hands, it can touch your head and then your arms as long as it's one motion. So we're going to see some fun plays because of that rule change.
Service error by Lovett. A lot of rule changes entering this season, and one of them as well, now teams can utilize 2 liberos on the court. Or not on the court, but in a game.
Exactly, and Coach Poole has been utilizing that throughout the tournament because, like I said before, Emery was injured and getting back into it, so it's nice to give other possible liberos reps.
Misdirection play by Brower. Seminoles ready. Feeling Mall denied. Sophie Fisher on the block. Her 9th this season.
Sophie Fisher stands at 6'5". She's very quick off the ground, and she's very technically sound and disciplined as a blocker. So you're going to see her holding her spot, reading the set, and then making the move.
And when you realize that Coach Black wanted her to focus more on blocking after having almost 150 blocks last year, that's dangerous.
Absolutely.
Inside CC Gooch. Robinson a set. And the attack by Maddie Snyder. Snyder, a sophomore from Land O'Lakes, Florida, looking to elevate her game this season.
Yep, Coach said Maddie Snyder has gotten more tools in her toolbox. And we see her there doing a lot of good work in transition, getting off the net with a long approach in front of her and hitting a very sharp angle, thumb down.
Service error from the Seminoles. 14-9, Florida State in set one. Clara Brower on the serve. And trading service error. We've seen a little bit more following the Georgia timeout, and that just goes to what we mentioned. Now, this opening weekend, you're going to have some mistakes here and there. The goal is to clean it up moving forward, going into conference play. Exactly.
Right off the bat, you're just repping it out. You're getting into a comfortable flow. And right now, just a little few too many errors from Georgia's side.
Phelan serving. Brower to Muneke. Still in play. Sent over by Head. Near side, and a block by Koenig. You're seeing more of Koenig's defense here to start than her offense.
Exactly, Audrey Koenig. First of all, such a great dig by Emery Dukes, who continues to show why it's valuable to have her on the court. And then Audrey Koenig up, pressed, and then turning those palms into the court, shoving that ball straight down. Kelsey Perry a little late to close, so that's why.
You're starting to see Koenig get involved more on both sides, offense and defense. We saw the block by Sophie Fisher. She also had the kill in set one. But right now, with the added intensity and the crowd inside Tully, it has mainly been Florida State on the attack, leading 16-9. Play resumes out of the timeout. Phelan, jump serve. Service error. Florida State hitting at 385 now. Georgia still in the negatives as head coach Chris Poole looks on for Florida State. From the middle, great dig in the back. Blocked, and how about it? It was Sophie Fisher on the attack, but Kelsey Perry with the rejection.
Opening match, Kelsey Perry led the Seminoles with 4 timely blocks. She's just a redshirt sophomore, but she's got a great read, and then she's got a nice long reach, pressing those arms over the net.
One of the recent additions for the Seminoles, a transfer from Iowa State. Lovett, wow, the force on the attack. Erica Lovett, her 3rd kill.
And as a more undersized outside attacker, a lot of the times you're going to see them run a quicker tempo of a set to use that athleticism and that speed to their advantage against a block.
Cox on the serve. Fisher will win that battle, point Dogs.
That's what an aggressive serve does. Causes the overpass, and just like that, Georgia's within 5.
Starting to find some momentum here late in set one. Another overpass and a slam dunk for Fisher.
And it's a smart service choice by Bailey Cox, targeting Taylor Head twice in a row, causing 2 overpasses, but it's a nice flat float serve, and it's catching Taylor Head a little bit high.
This is the Georgia team that knows Taylor Head fairly well, a 4-year transfer from Arkansas, was a part of the Elite 18 for the Razorbacks. Oh, nice pancake. Sliding in by Cox, but the point will go to Florida State.
That's a great up by Bailey Cox. Called that the Superman, laying out for that. You know, her opening match, she played with more fire and passion in a regular season match than I've seen in a long time out of a libero. She's really fun to watch.
Coach Black said she's always one viral clip away from putting on a great play. Had at least one per season. Back row attack off the hands up front. Near side head blocked. Georgia finding some momentum. Only within 4 now.
And this is Georgia starting to get a read on the set. Sophie Fisher is extremely athletic and fast, and she's able to close a lot of those blocks even when the sets are tempo out to the outside to Taylor Head.
Here's Anna Julia Bleeker serving for Georgia. Far side. Good job up front by Fisher. Brower, the set. Love it, no good. Head pokes it. Brower, near side denied. Fisher stays with it. Love it again, the tip out.
That set just a little too far outside. Lovett shoulder, she had to kind of reach over her left shoulder, hang in the air a little bit longer because it was a little too high and just barely missed it out of bounds. But we've seen some really exciting rallies because of how elite these two defenses are.
Robinson on the serve for the Seminoles. Fisher. As that drops into the stands, Sophie Fisher now finding her rhythm, her third kill.
Yep, moving Sophie Fisher around really nicely, running the slide on that attack, and then she's swinging high and over the opposing FSU block.
Back to a 4-point set. Here's Lovett serving. Robinson on the outside, the hard parry, Bump set. Muneke can't get that one through. Back row attack. And that's what a low ceiling will do. You had the one-hand dig by Bailey Cox, but just the force of it hit the ceiling and it made it a little bit challenging to find it.
Absolutely, and that's one of the advantages that Florida State has is they practice in this gym. They know the grooves of the ceiling. And it's almost like you have to guess where it's going to go, and Georgia's just not used to it.
The difference for the Bulldogs when they play in Stegman Coliseum, more spacious atmosphere. Poked by Fisher. Great dig. From the middle, Maddie Snyder couldn't get that one. Point Dogs.
That was a great dig by Emery Dukes and a smart decision by Sophie Fisher, who went with the off-speed shot, the tip. She's banged a couple deep, had a lot of nice, sharp swings. And then with that one, she's got a lot of tools in her toolbox, and she just showed it.
Attack percentage has gone down for the Seminoles, now at 227. Georgia at even. With the service there, the Bulldogs fourth, gives Florida State a 5-point lead. (21-16) in set one. You see Coach Poole directing traffic on the Florida State side. Mentioned that this team has a lot of talent. A couple of question marks entering this weekend with some players out. Brower from the middle, Fisher. Out. Point Seminoles, no touch.
I like that decision to run Fisher through the back row. Running her through the back row middle. She just missed slightly out on that attack. Good idea, though.
Muneke. Great dig in the back. Bump set, back row attack. Heads up. Free ball sent over. Robinson to the middle. Oh, great dig by Fisher. Far side, Philly Mawa blocks. And that time, Muneke there on the rejection.
This is one of those rare situations where a volleyball player has made a dig with their foot, and it didn't even look on purpose, but look at that.
Oh.
What a great up by Sophie Fisher, and then the block to seal the deal, but you don't see that every day.
Sometimes it's all about being at the right place at the right time, even when you least expect it.
Absolutely.
Overpass again. That time the Dogs weren't ready. 23-17, Florida State.
And if you're Georgia, that is a give-me ball. And when with a game this close and into the red zone, that's an overpass that CC Gooch just needs to take care of.
All Coach Tom Black can do is watch. Use both his timeouts early on in set one. Phelan, jump serve. And that is in.
We saw Kenna Phelan miss 2 serves at the beginning of this set, but this is why she continues to rep it out, because it can be so extremely lethal when she's on.
Set point Seminoles, 24-17. Brower from the middle, block, still in play. Muneke can't get it over. Muneke tries again, dug out in the back row. Inside, Koenig, got it. And Florida State, 25-17, taking set one.
There's Koenig doing a great job at identifying the hands of the block and swinging sharp in.
Here in set two, inside Tully, it was announced during the break, a sold-out match here this afternoon. Lewis on the attack, out. Georgia takes the first point.
And if you're Corey Lewis, you can almost smile that off, shrug that off, because she has been near perfect as far as hitting efficiency is concerned.
This goes more to the confidence that Coach Chris Poole talked about with her. Showed in the first 2 games. Robinson, the poke by Lewis. Great save by Georgia. Near side, love it. Dug out in the back. From the middle, Fisher sends it over. Dug out by Robinson. Far side, Taylor Head. Great rally to start. The block, a collision, and another save almost. But what effort from Georgia there here in set 2.
Great effort from Georgia, laying out their extremely gritty as a team. We saw that in their 5-setter against UC Santa Barbara, doing everything they can to keep the ball alive. And then here at the end, a miscommunication, which is one of your least favorite ways to end a play.
Georgia entering this game with only 11 active players on their roster. You mentioned the 5-set battle against UC Santa Barbara. Tori Harper, blocked there by Florida State, takes the lead. Tori Harper went down in the 5th set against Georgia. We saw her coming in on crutches. She's going to be out for a while.
And it's a shame because Tori Harper is a really incredible middle. Her opening match, she had 8 kills on 13 attempts and 3 blocks. So she was a big aspect of that Georgia team.
Head on the serve. Brower, Fisher from the middle. Dug out by Robinson. From the attack line, denied. Point Dogs.
And that would have been a tough one for Kylene Filamawa to score on. Sophie Fisher there, ready, pressed. It was a nice high set, so she had time to plant her feet, press her arms. And it was a great block setup, too, as well.
That may have been the message by head coach Tom Black, trying to rely on Fisher a bit more entering set 2 to fight back. Robinson, near side, rejected, and out. Point Florida State. Maddie Snyder looking to elevate her role as a sophomore this year.
Maddie Snyder has been physical and powerful ever since she got to Florida State as a freshman. One of the most powerful freshmen I've ever seen play for the Seminoles.
6'4", right side hitter, left-handed hitter as Fisher swings. Koenig on the response, dug out by Muneke. From the middle, dug out by Taylor Head. Koenig. Brower to Fisher. In between the attackers, Koenig responds.
Kylene Filamawa is playing right side, but she took that second ball, which technically would be called out of system, but it's not because she is such a proficient setter. Extremely high-level setter. You see her kind of waving Lauren Robertson away because she knows that she can get the job done well.
There's so much senior leadership on this Seminole squad. The poke by Lovett. You talk about senior leaders. Lovett won as well for Georgia.
Yeah, really good decision by Levitt there. She was crashing a little bit inside. That set a little too far inside, so she took a little bit off of it, made the smart decision, and tooled with her tip.
Levitt on the serve. Robinson to Lewis.
And that is what happens when Florida State gets a 3-pass, a nice, quick pass to the setter. They're able to run a tempo slide to Corey Lewis, who finds the gap in the block so well. You see that little space in the block between the middle and the outside blocker. She finds it with that quick arm swing and spikes it straight down.
Right in between Fisher and Muneke. Jump serve, Phelan. Is there a touch? No, the fans thought so. Service error, Florida State. And we may see our first challenge as Chris Poole makes his way over, and we'll see a new addition here in the ACC and SEC. You have a push-to-talk feature, so we'll hear from the official here in just a moment.
Florida State is challenging the call that the ball was out.
So there you have it. A new addition this season for both the ACC and SEC, the push-to-talk function. We will see if the ball was in or out. That's a challenge being made by Chris Poole. Take a look.
From my vantage point, it looks like the ball kind of nicks the back line. It's a good challenge nonetheless because it is that close. We will see what the official comes up with.
So look at the challenge rules. Each team gets 2 challenges. If the call is reversed, then Chris Poole will get that challenge back. If it's upheld, he will lose it. And if this match goes to a 5th set, each team receives an extra challenge.
And one of the things I love about the challenge rule is if you're correct in your challenge, you are rewarded and you get that challenge back. Also, during this time of challenge, it's almost like a little timeout for teams to regroup. The coaches get a chance to talk to their players. So there's a lot of advantages that you can take from these challenges.
Yeah, Florida State didn't use a timeout in set 1. Georgia used both of theirs pretty early.
Call is overturned, ball in.
There you have it. We have the official response. We'll hear the crowd reaction in a moment. And there you have it. Ball was in, call overturned. Chris Poole keeps that challenge.
And in a way, I mean, it's definitely a home court advantage because a lot of the fans on that side of the court were screaming in, and maybe even pushed Coach Poole to challenge that call. So definitely home court advantage for the Seminoles here today.
Well, also was the associate head coach, Jeff Holzmeyer, that went to Chris Poole to say, hey, let's challenge that. Coach Poole has such an experienced coaching staff with Jeff Holzmeyer and Lindsey Allman, the 2 associate head coach, and returning to Florida State, Holly Watts. Play resumes, Fisher on the attack. Far side, Koenig, great dig by Cox. Fisher inside, out.
Georgia's defense is looking pretty good right now. They're giving their offense some chances to score. Great digging in transition. Bailey Cox has done a great job at lining up on the outside shoulder, but they're just not able to convert on offense right now.
7-3 start for the Seminoles. Far side. Fisher, another attack that went out. See a lot of attacking errors here from Georgia to start this match.
Absolutely, and this is one of those times where
Mustangs for Moody Magic Night, and the crowd will be rocking. You won't want to miss it. Play resumed inside Tully, and ace for Florida State. And that's so unique. SMU, a new addition to the ACC, one of 3 teams in the conference this year.
Exactly, and Coach Poole said, I know I'm biased, but I think the ACC is the best volleyball conference now. He said the top 6 in our conference is as competitive or more than anyone, and every single match is a dogfight.
SMU, California, and Stanford. Got to watch out for Stanford now. Great dig in the back by Taylor Head. Koenig swings. Inside Muneke. Point Dogs. That is the first player outside of Erica Lovett or Sophie Fisher to get a kill for the Bulldogs.
And this is one of the aspects of Georgia's game that needs to heat up now. Biana Muneke has the opportunity to put the team on her back and score a lot of points. Opening match, she had a career-high 23 kills on a 438 efficiency. So when she heats up, she really heats up.
Muneke, a transfer from Texas A&M, was a member of the SEC all-freshman team last year. Koenig on the attack. Great dig from the back by Lovett. Fisher gets that one through.
And Fisher's able to power that one through because Florida State's block not pressed at the right time. If that timing's a little bit off or your arms are not pressed over the net at the right time, the ball's able to squeak through.
We'll see Fisher's numbers last year, leading all middle blockers. Koenig, another kill. Audrey Koenig now getting in rhythm. She has 5 on the day.
And Audrey Koenig has a lot of range, and when she uses all of that height on her jump, we'll see her hit low into the seam and then right there going high off the hands. That's her specialty.
Yeah, Coach Poole said even though a lot more firepower this year, she'll still be one of the go-to players this year. Oh, right on cue.
Right on cue is right. I don't think that could have gone any more straight down than it did, and that's your job. You're manning the net, the overpass, or the ball comes over it all. You hit that ball straight down, and she punished it.
Coach Poole also said Koenig has gotten stronger with her big jump and long wingspan. Great save. Bump set by Dupes. Brower inside Muneke. Dug out by Phelan. Inside Koenig. And she's starting to go on a roll. The last 3 kills for Florida State coming from the co-ACC Player of the Year.
And it's great setting decisions by the Seminoles. You set the hot hands, and right now it's Koenig. That ball out of system, but Emery Dupes took that very nicely, pushed that set to her outside shoulder, and Koenig was able to capitalize.
Another timeout called by the Bulldogs. So head coach Tom Black using his timeouts early again here in set 2, just like he
hitting teams.
Can't forget about Arkansas as well, reaching the Elite 8. And Georgia this year, entering the season, starting in the top 25, first time since 1996, was picked 4th in the preseason poll. So a lot of expectations of it. It's having some trouble right now. Out of the timeout, 3-0 Florida State run. Philly Malo on the serve. Fisher from the middle. Great dig. Head, far side. Brower. CC Gooch, was there a touch? No. Point Seminoles. How can Georgia get out of this funk right now?
I think they just need to capitalize on the opportunities that their defense is giving them. In transition, they're making great ups, but their offense is just not finishing the ball. And it also doesn't help that Florida State is playing absolutely elite defense and not really letting anything touch the ground.
Head makes it a 5-0 run for the Seminoles. Everything is clicking for Florida State.
Volleyball is a game of momentum, and it ebbs and it flows, and right now it's all Florida State flowing as Taylor Head takes care of that overpass.
Knows Georgia really well, coming from Arkansas. Service there, Philly Mala. One of the big stories, Audrey Koenig, 7 for 13 in the attack, sitting at 538. She hit for a combined 130 in the first 2 games over the weekend against UC Santa Barbara and South Florida. She's getting going now. Jump serve. Running in, Koenig. Nobody home. Point Seminoles. Making 8 kills for Koenig.
And it looks like we're going to receive a challenge. Yes. Georgia was pretty confident that that ball was out.
So now we'll see the first challenge from the Bulldogs and Tom Black. Another look at our new push-to-talk system.
Georgia is challenging the call on the floor that the ball was in.
So both challenges so far today have been whether the ball was in or out. Let's take a look.
Oh, it looks like from my point of view here that ball might be out by an inch or a centimeter. We will see, though.
I think it's more centimeters than you always hear the phrase, it's a game of inches, but in this challenge, it's a game of centimeters.
Absolutely.
Ball was out.
And you have the call, the ball was out.
So both challenges from either team has been rewarded, and they've been correct in those challenges. And if you're Georgia, that's a must-have point. You can't let Florida State get any more ahead. You have to start inching away at that gap.
So 14-7, Florida State the lead. Tom Black gets his challenge back. Phelan, misdirection, got it. Always love those center misdirection plays that catches the defense off guard.
And it's a great decision to be a great setter. You yourself, you're also an offensive weapon, and she has great court awareness, Kenna Phelan. Very smart as a setter to use herself as a weapon right into that fire pit.
Inside of Muneke on the attack. Misdirection, head denied. And the Bulldogs are ready. Trying to find some momentum here, getting fired up.
And a big block can definitely do that for you. Very fundamentally sound block. There was nothing wrong with that. It was absolutely perfect. Rising up into the air, pressing those arms over the net at the right time.
Service error. That ball was out. Florida State continues to double the lead, 16-8 in set 2.
And it's hard to get any momentum on your side when you're missing these serves. It's hard to get into a rhythm and find that chemistry. So the missed serves are only hurting Georgia right now.
The Bulldogs still hitting in the negatives. And also that was their 5th service error of the match. Just one ace. From the middle, Gooch blocked by Koenig, by Lewis. And the response, Maddie Snyder on the kill.
Great swing by Maddie Snyder, going deep and high over the hands. I said it before, she's a very powerful attacker, and she uses all of that momentum in her approach to power through the ball deep.
Robinson to serve. Inside, love it. Oh, what a save. Love it again. No. Dug out by Snyder, block. This resiliency from Florida State, now a whistle, point Dogs. But it's that resiliency right there, Madison, which is why the Seminoles have executed so well, and the fans don't like the call.
The fans do not like that call at all. The ref called for 4 contacts. She held up the number 4. That's a tough call. I mean, that was a fantastic rally. The defense, to your point, on Florida State side, they're making good reads, and then they're being very scrappy, putting themselves in good situations.
Chris Poole will make another challenge. The 3rd time be a charm for our new push to talk system.
Florida State is challenging the call on the floor of touch or hit.
It was a close look. You saw there as the Seminoles tried to recover, it looked like 2 players were racing towards the ball. You see it right here on the block attempt. Now 1. And the question will be, it was between Robinson and Lewis.
Even in slow motion, that ball is moving so fast. That is a very difficult call. Lewis immediately, though, after that play, put her hands up like, what? Why'd you call that? So she's convinced she didn't touch it.
So right there, it's almost like the right thumb of Lewis may have gotten a touch alongside Robinson. You see right here, that thumb and in the hands of Robinson.
Right there, let's see, let's get a zoom on it. Her thumb is taped, so it's that white area of her thumb.
Like a spy movie, enhanced footage.
Our team is doing a great job behind the scenes.
I think the officials got it right. Let's see.
Call on the floor is confirmed.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that time, Chris Poole loses the challenge.
4 contacts it is, and we move on. Georgia needed that point. That is safe to say.
Georgia will take any points they can get.
Absolutely, and if you're Chris Poole, you're still confident. You've got a good enough lead. You just got to side out this one ball and continue with the momentum.
Another service error, though, number 6 for Georgia.
And that's not something you want to see. You want to capitalize on points like that. It was a long break, time to switch the momentum onto your side, and you can't do that with a missed serve.
Serve by Head. Inside, love it, blocked.
Florida State's block just has a really good read on the ball right now. Georgia runs a tempo offense to the outside to Lovett. You see Corey Lewis crashing in, arms outstretched, diving into that seam and closing off any gap.
Florida State with 6 total blocks in the match. Service error from the Seminoles. That is their 6th service error. Served by Bleeker. Robinson, the Philly Mawa. Point Knowles.
Coach called Philly Mawa a baller. I call her a Swiss Army knife because she can really just do anything on the court. But here we see that nice, strong attack. Cross court, Sophie Fisher jumping with the middle. And I want to stress, that's Corey Lewis holding her on her, jumping with her, and then opening up that one-on-one.
Love it. Responds for the Bulldogs.
Good response by Lovett. That's what Georgia needs. They need 1 or 2, 3 hitters to step up, start to power through that block and make some plays.
A lot of the swings have come between Lovett along with Muneke and Fisher. All above 10 for the Bulldogs. Off the tape. Lewis, free ball. Muneke. Dug out. Muneke again. That time connects. Great effort by Emery Dukes, as we kind of mentioned throughout the broadcast, Madison. Missed all of last season, limited here this weekend.
Yeah, she looks very comfortable in that left back position, but right there's not really much you can do. Corey Lewis a little late on that block, and Muneke with such a fast arm swing powers through that open gap.
Bump set, Koenig. Violation. Point Georgia.
And if you're Georgia, you're happy about this. You're happy to get some points back, because even if you don't take this set, you want to gain momentum for set 3.
Momentum is why Florida State called a timeout here. Georgia starting to find some Quebec Conference matchups, and a bit of a neutral site matchup last weekend in Dublin, Ireland against Georgia Tech. Got to bounce back here tomorrow against Boston College.
I mean, absolutely. This is a must bounce back game for them. A lot of Florida State fans went over there to Ireland. The hopes were high coming into this season, but I believe in the Seminoles. I believe they can bounce back, but they have to this upcoming game.
The biggest question will be, how far will they drop in the top 25 after either starting 0-2 or 1-1? Play resumes, and Koenig right there on the attack. That's her 8th kill.
That's one of the reasons Audrey Koenig is so good, because she's very athletic and she can hold in the air, hang in the air, nice and high, and then just drill that ball straight down. She's really good at swinging through the open seam. Sophie Fisher there late to close the block.
21-13 Florida State. Muneke dug out by Head. Koenig. Violation. Point Knowles.
Now we see Koenig start to get into the groove. We see why she was co-ACC Player of the Year, because when she gets going, she's extremely efficient and she's got a lot of range.
Phelan serves again. Make it an ace.
That jump top spin from Kenna Phelan is an absolute weapon from the service line. When she heats up, and she has the ability to accumulate a lot of points with that serve.
20 aces for Florida State here in opening weekend. That has been one of the strong points. Their 5th here in the match tonight. Muneke inside, 15 feet. Is that in? Yes. Point Georgia.
And that's a difficult set to attack. You really have to wait on your approach, because that ball is coming from over your shoulder and behind you. Muneke, very experienced on that outside position, waited and then used all that momentum in her approach to contact the ball at a high point.
Her 3rd kill of the day. Phelan the Koenig, blocked. Philly Muller right there to send it back over. Muneke denied. Great save by Erica Lovett. From the middle, blocked. Perry couldn't get that one. Koenig swings on the back line. Set point, Florida State. For a moment there, Tom Black thought about going for the challenge.
Set point for FSU.
Hesitated.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought he was going to. His players seemed pretty confident that that ball was out, but nonetheless, we play on.
Inside, no luck from Sophie Fisher. Koenig, no. The tip to the back row. Phelan to Head. And Florida State, a 2-set lead over the Bulldogs. They take set 2, 25-14.
And it's just great ball control from Florida State. They're controlling those balls in transition. That first
3 players, how did they get going in set 3? As we begin set 3, Sophie Fisher gets things started.
Yeah, Georgia needs to just step up pretty much most aspects of their game. FSU is out hitting Georgia 35-26. Out digging, Georgia 35-26 digs, and out hitting Georgia 23-12. So it's every single aspect of the Georgia game that just needs to get into a groove. They need to find some chemistry.
Free ball for the Bulldogs. Brower to Muneke. Georgia off to a 2-0 start.
And I like that decision from the setter. Set Muneke right off the bat, kind of get her into a rhythm. She's one of those players that can really take off and accumulate a lot of kills for that team.
Muneke's taking more of the attacks in set 2. It was kind of a quiet outing for Sophie Fisher in that 2nd set. We'll see how she does on the serve. Harper. Shooting Maddie Snyder that time. Gets that one through. Point Knowles.
Great swing by Maddie Snyder, who waited on that ball. It was pretty much a pin-to-pin set, so she had to wait on her approach and then power through. A lot of physicality in that sophomore, Maddie Snyder.
Brower to Muneke. Great punch there by Muneke in the back row. You're starting to see the sophomore Bianna Muneke get more involved.
Yep, she's an absolute game changer for this team. When she is on, she is able to score in bunches, and she's got a lot of range and a lot of tools in her offensive toolbox right there, going with the deep down the line tip.
That's the thing as well, with numerous transfers for each side. This opening weekend, it'll take some time to get adjusted now in live ball games. And CC Gooch from the middle has improved as well. Stepped in game 2 yesterday with the injury to Tori Harper. And one player that we did not mention who can't play this season due to transfer rules, Kendall Kemp from Auburn. I know that there's no there's no other Sophie Fisher, but you almost have the next Sophie Fisher in waiting.
Absolutely. I mean, you have a 6'6" absolute stud in the waiting, just repping out these reps this year and then kind of learning from Sophie Fisher. Coach Tom Black said that they push each other and they make each other better.
Kemp made the trip to Tallahassee, so they get a chance to witness opening weekend for the Dogs. Koenig, got it. First player in double-digit kills in this game, Audrey Koenig with 10.
And that's Koenig using all of that height in her vertical to tip over the block and down into that open court in the middle of the court.
Florida State starting to find some rhythm. 5-2 start for Georgia. Brower, Muneke, there was a touch. Point Dogs.
And there's that great ball control on that first contact. The first contact in volleyball is so important. And Erica Lovett just controlled that jump topspin serve with a lot of an elite ability. And then it was a quick tempo set to the outside. Very well done.
Far side, Filimawa, great dig in the back. Lovett the tip, sent back over. Muneke from the attack line. Great back row dig. Koenig off the tape. Bump set. Lovett. Out. Point Georgia. So correction there. It was Erica Lovett on the back-to-back kills for the Bulldogs.
This is exactly one. If you're Tom Black, this is the response that you want out of your Georgia Bulldogs right out of the gate.
Muneke on the serve. On the attack line, oh, great up. Love it. Feeling the Koenig, blocked. CC Gooch on the rejection.
And here's a pretty cool telling stat for you. In set 1, Georgia 6 kills. Set 2, Georgia 6 kills. Set 3 so far, they already have 6. They are looking much more like themselves. And then we saw some great defense from them right here. Nice stuff block, straight down, perfectly timed, pressing those palms over the net.
So rather, it was Krista Blakely there on the prime well. Out of the Seminole timeout, 8-2 Georgia lead. Far side, how about that? Erica Lovett.
There is no covering that ball off of the block. Erica Lovett jumping up, high, hands outstretched. You see her there tracking the ball and then turning that left palm, that left pinky, dropping it into the court.
And the response by the Seminoles. Snapping a 4-0 run.
That's Audrey Koenig's 11th kill as she starts to heat up here in this match. She's been the go-to for them and the hot hands for them so far today.
Nearing 1,000 career kills for Florida State, 7th all-time in program history. Koenig couldn't get past Lovett that time. Those are the two players shining in set 3.
Erica Lovett is locked in on that ball as far as net defense is concerned, doing a really good job with her eyes, tracking the ball, jumping and pressing at the right time. Georgia, a 10-3 lead. Good response by them.
Served by Bailey Cox. Near side. Taylor Head. Point Florida State.
Smart swing by Taylor Head, who felt like she had a lot of line. Krista Blakely, the right side blocker, just gave her a little bit too much line, and Taylor Head took advantage, dropping that pinky and snapping it cross body down that line.
Even though Georgia has seen Taylor Head numerous times throughout their battles against Arkansas, head coach Tom Black said, hey, we can't assume anything now that Taylor Head's in a new system with Florida State. You can't expect her to do the same thing she did at Arkansas in a new system and a new team.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got 2 new setters who are setting her, but I will say the chemistry from Taylor Head and those 2 new setters has been really superb so far. She led the team in kills last match.
She'll be somebody to watch here in set 3 as Florida State tries to mount a comeback. From the middle, Fisher got it. Violation on Florida State.
I said volleyball is a game of momentum. It ebbs and it flows, and right now Florida State making some errors that are pretty uncharacteristic of them in the first 2 sets.
Bleeker on the serve. Inside, Snyder. Maddie Snyder starting to become that secondary option for the Seminoles. Her 5th kill.
Yeah, exactly. Her 5th kill, hitting close to 400. She's got a lot of power behind that swing, and that one she went down the line. The block gave her enough line, and she took advantage.
Average over 1.5 kills per set in her freshman year. Love it. Cross shot, got it. Erica Lovett, a team-high 8 kills for the Bulldogs. She's stepping up tremendously.
And you can see Erica Lovett's experience. She's a very experienced player playing for Tennessee and Long Beach. She looks very comfortable under pressure.
Robinson to head, stopped in the back by Bleeker. Muneke in, point Dogs.
Out of system, Muneke looks very comfortable and controlled on that attack. That ball coming from over her shoulder. She takes her time on her approach and swings nice and high. She's got a high reach, and she uses all of that reach when she contacts the ball.
Fisher connects.
That's what's expected out of Sophie Fisher in that moment. An overpass, you're there. You take a 1-2 jump, and she's so tall, she just gets up and snaps to the open court. Great vision by her today. That's her 6th kill.
And that is in. An ace for the Bulldogs, their 2nd, and now a 4-0 run. Numerous runs here for the Bulldogs in set 3.
Absolutely. Set 2 seemed to go all Florida State side. Set 3, it's been all Georgia.
Snyder, the set, head, the attack. Got it. Keep an eye out on Taylor Head. Head coach Chris Poole said that when things get tough, she wants the ball. She wants to make those plays under pressure.
Yep, he said when the game is on the line, she's the one that makes the kill on match point. She's the one that makes that big, aggressive serve. She wants the ball. That's her impact.
On the serve, Muneke, the attack, dug out by Head. Snyder. Fisher. Oh, everything is rolling for Georgia right now.
Sophie Fisher is so dynamic and athletic. That ball shooting out. First of all, great dig, and Sophie Fisher took the opportunity. Florida State's defense was not set. They were not ready for that on-2 attack. Sophie Fisher jumped up and got the kill.
Fisher on the serve. From the middle, Corey Lewis. And a violation point, Florida State. So we're starting to see a little bit of Corey Lewis in set 3. Really got things started in the first set to start the game.
Yep, that's one of the aspects for Florida State that's lagging right now is setting Corey Lewis, who's extremely efficient. She only has 3 kills so far in this match.
So keep an eye on Lewis as well as the match progresses. Brower misdirection.
I was waiting for an opportunity to talk about this. Brower makes herself an offensive weapon when she's in the front row. The first match, their opening match, she had 6 kills. In the second match, she had 3 kills on 5 attempts. So she makes the block respect her because she's so offensive-minded.
A double-digit lead for Georgia, 17-7. Now back to single digits off the service error. And when you have a big lead like this, you want to be careful on those minimal mistakes that might let your opposition creep back in.
Exactly. If you're Florida State, it's all foot on the gas right now. Nothing to lose. Do everything you can to make up that deficit before Georgia gets to the red zone.
Jump serve, Phelan. That's a service error for Florida State.
Both teams have 7 service errors so far in this match. We're on the third set, and if you're behind by that much, you really have to limit those errors.
Koenig. In. The Georgia challenge. They will not.
Yeah, that ball looked pretty in from where I was sitting. Koenig has the unique ability to paint that end line. She's very exact with the location of her swings.
We saw the players kind of gather together if they should make that challenge or not, as CC Gooch gets the kill, or rather, if that ball is out, point Florida State.
That was a tough set for CC Gooch. That ball coming behind her, setter falling off the net, trying to force the middle.
Brower, Gooch attacks, second effort, no. Filimawa on the set, and the attack by the Seminoles.
Love that set from Filimawa, excuse me. Even though the Seminoles are out of system, she's been a setter before, so she keeps it nice in-system set. Good tempo all the way out to Taylor Head, who has a wide range of shots and just used the roll shot.
A player that can do just about everything on the floor. Love it, blocked.
Great block by Kelsey Perry and Audrey Koenig. You see Kelsey Perry crashing in, closing that block. There was no gaps in the block. She shut down any opportunity for a point there.
Timeout Georgia, 4-0 run for Florida State. For Georgia, the majority of the attacks have still come from Erica Lovett, Sophie Fisher, and Biana Muneke. For Florida State, Audrey Koenig leading with 12 kills. Taylor Head and Maddie Snyder with 5 each. Kylie Filimawa with 4. You can't forget about Corey Lewis, 3 kills, also 2 tremendous blocks to start the match. Play resumes. Lovett swings. Dug out in the back. Head. Blocked. Point Dogs.
That's what you want out of a timeout. You want service pressure, you want to side out quickly, or you want a very prominent block to re-cement yourself with that nice defensive flow. The Georgia Bulldogs' 9th block today. Both teams' defenses have been extremely impressive so far.
Koenig on the attack. Oh, that's pinballing on the ceiling. And the Dogs tried to keep it in play. Man, that just bounced up on numerous railings on the ceiling.
Pinball is the perfect way to describe that. I can almost hear the ding, 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 ding that you hear when you play pinball.
No high score for Georgia, though. Point goes to Florida State within 6. Koenig serves. Brower in the middle. Sophie Fisher, her 8th kill.
That's how good Clara Brower is as a setter. She's falling off the net, but she gets her feet there. She's on the ground, and it's a quick 3 set to Sophie Fisher, and that's a gap set. You can see the space between the setter and the middle attacker, and then there's a gap in between those 2 blockers. And Sophie Fisher, if you give her any room, she's going to score.
Received by Head. Feeling back to Head. Got it between Fisher and Brower.
It's a good swing by Taylor Head, who's a little bit undersized, but very experienced as an outside attacker. There's a little bit of space in that block between her and the net, and she took advantage.
Brower to Lovett. Off the hands. Robinson to Lewis. Blocked by Fisher.
Fisher was all over that, holding in the middle on Lewis. As a Florida State setter, Lauren Robertson, you almost want to feel that and then go with a different option, because Sophie Fisher was on Lewis that whole time.
21-14 Georgia. Robinson to Head. Great save by Lovett. Muneke the attack. Off a light on the ceiling. We are seeing the ceiling become more of a factor in set 3.
Yeah, the ceiling is kind of like a third team right now. They're making touches, they're making plays. But this is a Georgia team that has come alive, and they're starting to play like themselves, and it's really fun to watch.
Served by Lovett. Far side, Lewis, no. Inside, Muneke on the cross shot.
And here's an aspect of both of these teams that has heated up at different times. Florida State's block was tremendous in set 2. Now it's more so Georgia making the good defensive plays, transitioning into their offense. Georgia, 5 out of 10 of their blocks is from this set alone.
With a service error, number 8 today. Snaps a 3-0 run. Brower sets up Fisher, too strong. Was there a touch? She's calling for it. No. Point Knowles.
Sophie Fisher trying to find those fingertips, swinging high and off the block, but just wasn't able to find any fingertips. Florida State trying to stay in it here.
It was close. She knows it. So what a career for Sophie Fisher. Started at Kentucky, won a national championship. Her 3rd season now with Georgia. A great save. Free ball. Robinson to head, blocked by Fisher. Joust, and Fisher makes it set point Dogs.
It's been the block from Georgia late in this set that has skyrocketed them into the red zone and close to getting this win. Florida State just not able to get a kill here because Sophie Fisher moves so dynamically and athletically along the net side to side. She's shutting everything down, and her pin blockers are doing a really good job at setting the block.
Can she lead Georgia to taking set 3, 24-16. Outside attack, and Florida State stays alive. Maddie Snyder gets her 6th kill.
Maddie Snyder coming up big in big moments for the Seminoles. She doesn't get set that often, but when she does, she capitalizes, and she's loving that cross, sharp court swing right now.
Still set point in Georgia. Fisher, back row attack. CC Gooch gets it through, and Georgia stays alive, taking set 3, 25-17.
We knew it would be tightly contested, and we're going to make decisions, and you trust your hitters who are hot.
Wasting no time, ready to go here in set 4. Served by Erica Lovett. Robinson, the Philly Mawa, attack too strong, first point to Georgia. If you're Florida State, always a dangerous situation being up 2-0 going into the 3rd set. Now losing that 3rd set, what do they need to do in set 4?
They need to go back to what they know in sets 1 and 2, find the hot hands, and then also on the block, stand strong, man your girl, respect each hitter, and don't cheat. They haven't closed a lot of the blocks, and that's why Georgia has bumped up their efficiency on the attack.
Service error number 9 for the Bulldogs gets the Seminoles on the board. Brower to Fisher, dug out by Head. Robinson to Philly Mawa, the tip. Bump set by Ella Gaona. Block up front, Sophie Fisher.
If you're a young volleyball player and you're watching this match, you should take notes of Sophie Fisher and how she blocks. Look at their perfect timing, pressing those arms, long reach over the net, and then pointing those palms down into the court. There is no covering that one.
Fisher had 8 blocks entering this match today. She has 6 in this match right now. Koenig responding for Florida State, her 13th kill.
That's such an impressive swing by Koenig, who's off the net, probably like 8 feet off the net, and then able to turn that ball down the line, dropping that pinky. She's got a lot of range. 13 kills on the day. That's a team high for her.
Served by Phelan. Brower to Muneke, got it through, point Dogs.
That's exactly what I talked about at the beginning of this set. Feed the hot hands. Muneke has the ability to put the team on her back and accumulate a lot of points. We saw that in her opening match where she had 23 kills. Now she's got 10 and she's just getting started.
First Bulldog in double-digit kills. Phelan goes to Koenig, the tip, excuse me. Brumstead dupes. Koenig again. Out.
And Koenig was trying to grab the outside fingertips of the opposing team's block. You saw her almost with a full body crunch into the air, snapping on that ball, trying to grab fingertips, but just over-rotated a little too much.
Overpass. Muneke, rather Krista Blakely, gets that one through. And this is where other players can step up for Georgia. Krista Blakely, the graduate right side hitter.
Yep, that'll be Krista Blakely's first kill, but what she hasn't done on offense, she's done on defense. She's had a lot of great blocks.
The poke by Philly Mawa, and some miscommunication there by Georgia. You had Brower move up, didn't get back in time.
Yep, exactly. On defense, you want to be stopped. Kylene saw that with a cross-court deep tip. You don't see that very often, but it was a smart shot. She's got good court awareness.
From the middle, CC Gooch. Point Dogs with a touch up front.
I like that swing from CC Gooch. It's flat. She hits it high, but it's flat off of the hands of the blocker. And as a block, you want to get up and you want to touch that ball and slow it down, but when it's coming at that trajectory, it's difficult to dig.
Phelan, the head, dug out by Brower. Running in is Lovett, out.
And Head is one of those players that stepped up big time for them in sets 1 and 2. I'd like to see her get going and gain some momentum in this set. She's been pretty quiet since set 3.
Koenig serves. Joust in the middle. Play on, now a whistle, point Florida State. And now the Noles within 1.
Good start by the Seminoles, always starts with service pressure. Audrey Koenig is the right one if you want service pressure. She already has an ace today.
Off the tape. Inside Lovett, saved by Koenig. Feeling the head, got it. Tied at 6.
I love that block touch from Maddie Snyder and Kelsey Perry. They slowed that attack down, got a nice block touch on it. Florida State able to play that up. Audrey Koenig in the middle back. And then Taylor Head, that set a little behind her, but she's so athletic that she made it work.
Near side, Lovett that time gets one through. Erica Lovett, her 9th kill. How critical does the 4th set become for both sides?
It is extremely critical. If you're Florida State, you're trying to get back the momentum that you had from set 1 and 2. And if you're Georgia, you're working with what you know, with what went well in set 3. So they're both battling different challenges right now in set 4.
It's always the most fun set to watch because you have one team trying to take the match, another one trying to level it. Sent over by Perry. Oh, what a block. Taylor Head ties it again at 7.
Great block by Taylor Head. Nice set on Georgia's side, going with the back row attack to Muneke, but maybe that set just a little too low, and it was kind of like a trap set. She didn't really have anywhere to go. Florida State had 2 blockers up on her.
8th block for the Seminoles, 2nd in the match for Taylor Head. Lauren Robinson, the Memphis transfer, on the serve. Brower to Fisher. Free ball. Oh, it turns into a kill.
That's one of the most impressive things, in my opinion, that a middle does. Middles can get up and bang balls straight down all day, but when a middle has that finesse to see the open court and tip the ball to it, that just shows you they're an all-around player.
Can Florida State capitalize off this momentum, taking the lead 8-7? And just miscommunication from Georgia between Fisher and Lovett.
Capitalizing on the momentum was the perfect way to say it. Florida State riding on that momentum right now with this serve.
The service error. Number 8 for the Noles. Bleeker serving for Georgia. On the far side, Head got it. Taylor Head, 8 kills.
And the reason they're targeting Taylor Head on serve receive is because they wanted to take her out of the offense, but Taylor Head said, no, serve me, set me, and I'll get the kill.
She wants the ball, as Coach Poole mentioned. Brower, that time the Noles ready on the misdirection. Philly Maw from the attack line. Love it, blocked. Nice up by Cox, and what a response. The tip, no luck by Lewis. Love it, swings. Point Georgia. What a rally.
And that's why you give your all. That's why you're gritty, because if you make that play, then Florida State's like, oh no, here we go again. They made that play, I've got to do something better. Great all-out effort from Georgia. Starting with the libero. She lays out so well, to never say die kind of mentality from her.
The libero and then the setter in Clara Brower keeping that rally going. Robinson to Snyder, and once again it was Cox that was there. However, point Noles.
And Cox was there. She was in the right spot on defense in that left back, but Maddie Snyder with all of that power snapping down the line, just powering through any kind of platform that a defender can have.
7 kills for Snyder. Muneke connects.
That was a tough one for Lauren Robinson, who was kind of breaking. She's the setter, so she's running up to the net to set. And it just caught her while she was running, wasn't able to get stopped and dig that ball up.
The biggest change for Georgia is that now hitting in the positive, that 157 in the match. Head the set, Koenig the attack.
That is an extremely fast arm swing from Audrey Koenig, who contacts that ball at 10-8 at her highest reach, and then snaps and swings through the ball so quickly. No block touch on that one, and it was perfectly placed in the back area of the court.
12-10, Florida State in set 4. Served by Phelan. Brower to Gooch, blocked by Koenig. Fisher from the back row. Point Georgia.
Fisher is a middle that can score from the front row, off of the slide, on that 3 gap set, on the 1 set, and she can score from the back row. And she does it so efficiently, and she makes it look easy on top of all of that.
The type of fight you'll see in a top 25 battle to start the season. Phelan to Koenig on the swing. Gooch from the middle. CC Gooch, her 4th kill. And we're tied at 12.
And you have to appreciate the way that CC Gooch has stepped up for her team. Like we said at the beginning, Tori Harper went down with a lower leg injury earlier in this tournament, and CC Gooch stepped into the lineup and stepped up big time, right there feeling the gap and the space in between the 2 blockers and just power tipping it right through that seam.
Philly Mawa. That hit the ceiling. Point Florida State.
Yeah, the rule is if it hits the ceiling on one side of the net and then goes over the net because it hit the ceiling, then it's the other team's point.
That's one way to take the lead back. Brower to Gooch again. Dug out in the back. Head, swings, still in play. Great recovery, free ball. Phelan. Koenig swings, no good. Head, no, popped up by Gooch. Sent over by Brower. Another tip. Oh, what a save. Koenig. And Brower answering back to tie it again.
That is one of the reasons Clara Brower is so elite. She's giving all of her hitters some options, and then she takes matters into her own hands. Defense from both sides of the net, so extremely elite, keeping the ball alive. And then Clara Brower doing what she does best, which is making herself a weapon, making herself an option on defense.
Fans inside Tully getting fired up. Bump set by Head. Filimala blocked. Koenig can't get through. Lovett the kill. Georgia back up.
I think there was a chance that Erica Lovett hit that ball with her left hand. She is showing all of the athleticism and experience that she has here in this set.
And notice the left hand taped as well. Dogs back up 14-13. And that changes. It's Kelsey Perry, the Iowa State transfer, gets that one through.
If I'm Florida State and I get an in-system pass right there on serve receive, I'm going to run my middle almost every single time. The middles are so efficient. Kelsey Perry with a little crossbody swing down the line, fast snap by her to get the kill.
Jump serve by Koenig. Far side, Krista Blakely out. Florida State leads 15-14 heading towards the break. An exciting fourth set inside Tully. Fourth set going down to the nitty-gritty. 15-14 Florida State. The Seminoles lead 2-1 inside of a sold-out Tully gymnasium. Danny Wall and Madison Fitzpatrick on hand. And look at this. Georgia 5-5 against Florida State in Tallahassee. Florida State, a strong performance inside Tully, looking for their 14th straight win at home. Taylor Head, the attack. Nice save by Georgia. Phelan to the middle. Perry got it.
Great decision by Kenna Phelan. Push the pace. Go back to Kelsey Perry, who's been the hot hands for you right now. Clara Brower before that made a great save, but just wasn't set, able to dig up that ball to recycle it for her team. Kelsey Perry on a little bit of a roll. You have to respect how much she has stepped up for her team.
This is the moment where you want to take advantage. A 3-0 run right now for Florida State. In a tight fourth set, trying to take the match.
If you're Florida State right now, you're happy to have Audrey Koenig back there behind the service line. She's got a nice top spin. She almost tosses like she's going to do a float serve, and then it's got some spin on it.
Some speed as well. Near side, Loving, no, great recovery from the Noles. Brower to Blakely. Point Georgia. For the touch at the end.
Good swing by Blakely, who hasn't been as on fire on offense. She's hitting in the negatives, but that is a point that definitely counts for her team.
Snyder can't get that one through. Bump set by Cox. Lovett swings. Point Noles.
If you can't get the kill on offense, you get the block on defense, and that's what Maddie Snyder just did. Good dig by Georgia, recycle it. A little out of system, so Erica Levitt was off the net. She was kind of falling back, and then Florida State's block pressed at the right time and shut it down.
Keep an eye on the 6-2 rotation for Florida State. Lauren Robinson and Corey Lewis back in. Fisher answers back for the Bulldogs. That's going to be her 10th kill.
Great spot by Fisher, who saw that little campfire area open. She's got a lot of tools in her offensive arsenal. She can hit that ball straight down, or she can place the ball anywhere she wants, and right there she went with placement.
Top 3 attackers for Georgia, all with double-digit kills, a 1-point set. Robinson, head the poke. A violation, point Florida State.
If you're Florida State, you are very happy about that call right there. You don't want Georgia to get any momentum on their side, and you're happy for any unforced errors that Georgia makes.
18-16 in favor of the Noles. Fisher denied. Brower goes to Lovett. Point Georgia.
Georgia's been really good in transition, taking care of the ball. On serve receive, they're kind of cranking their passes upward, and setter Clara Brower's having to come off the net and then set, but in transition, Georgia's been taking care of it.
Robinson to Snyder, got it past Bailey Cox. Florida State back up by 2.
And that's some range from Maddie Snyder that we didn't see her freshman year, but now she's a sophomore. Coach said she's working on her range, and we see it right there, deep down the line, just to the right of the libero.
Oh, Ella Gayona serving. Brower to Buneke, point Dogs.
Targeting Moneke on serve receive, trying to take her out of the offense, but Moneke controlled that ball really well and then used all that momentum in her approach to power and swing through the block.
Getting down to the wire in set 4. Florida State still leading 19-18. Can Georgia find a way through and force a 5th set? Koenig, great dig. Far side. Fisher, and the response by the Noles.
That's Corey Lewis being as experienced of a blocker as they come at this level. She saw the shot, she saw the tip, so she shot blocked that ball, held in the air.
Out of the Bulldogs, timeout. Florida State up 20-18. And an ace gives them a 3-point lead.
And that is something that Kenna Phelan does really well. She makes that jump top spin serve an ace under pressure in the red zone, getting Florida State within 4.
Kenna Phelan, 5 aces in the match. Almost made it 6. Running in, no luck from Muneke. Far side, Philly Mawa, point Noles.
Hey, and when it works, it works. Not sure if that was the shot that Philly Mawa wanted to do. That set a little high for her, but she's so athletic, she hung in the air. See her there, and then just tipping it to the open court. And sometimes that catches the defense off guard because you yourself didn't even want to do that shot, so it's hard to read.
Georgia will use their second and final timeout of the set. 3-0 Florida State run. If you're head coach Tom Black, how do you remain composed in these final moments of set 4?
Well, you have to quiet out the noise, focus on each contact, and right now, the contact that's up next is slowing down Kenna Phelan's serve. She's got a really aggressive jump top spin that she's able to get aces late in the sets. So if you're coach, you say, hey, on serve receive, you get your platform there early. You make that move early, get underneath it, and give your offense a fighting chance of getting that side out point.
4-point lead for Florida State, the largest lead in this set from either side. It's all about the momentum late in sets, and right now, it's advantage Florida State.
Yep, sometimes it's about who catches the momentum last or the latest, especially when you're in this red zone. And it's been all Florida State, and they've been fueled by that really loud Florida State band behind them. This is a true home court advantage.
Man, this is something. You're inside a sold-out Tully Gymnasium. Georgia out of timeout to resume play. Brower misdirection. That time Perry ready. Muneke blocked by Perry. Great up by Cox. Muneke a third time, and that time connects.
Love that swing by Muneke. A lot of good body control in that. That was a high set, so she waited to start her approach. Did a little 1-2 quick jump and then swung through that ball all the way down the line to get the kill. That was a must-have point for Georgia.
Brower back to serve. Off the tape, received by Perry. Koenig. Got it.
Way to be ready on serve receive, Kelsey Perry. A lot of the times as a middle, you don't really get the opportunity to serve receive, especially when you're in the front row, but that was a nice 3 pass, allowing Florida State to make that quick side out.
23-19 Seminoles. Oh! The Bulldogs still get it over. Perry, got it! Match point Noles.
Florida State has run away with it late in this set because of the ball control, the first contact, and then their ability to finish the ball efficiently. They're taking care of business on their side of the net.
And there may be an injury as well. Muneke shaken up. And we saw it on the serve first and then the attack.
Yeah, there was a couple crazy plays in that line of rallies, but I think that ball might have just hit her on the head off of the serve receive. Looks like she's gonna play on it, and the Florida State fans are clapping. It's a really nice atmosphere.
Clapping for now. Maybe a little bit louder here in a moment.
Yep, if Florida State can get this point, I bet we'll hear some loud claps.
Match point, Florida State. Muneke off the hands up front, still in play. Head, got it! And Florida State takes set 4, 25-19. Take the match 3 sets to